be good. Many times I went by that yard and those dogs, I think these are just doing their protective thing, and I think I brought treats by and the dog almost tried to bite me one time, so I quit trying to give them treats. Anyway, that's not why I'm doing a video today. The reason why I'm doing a video today is because there was an incident today when I was out sort of sightseeing like I do, is looking for interesting houses and different things. And I was actually looking for, like, there used to be a geodesic house that was in a neighborhood a long time ago, and I was wondering if it was still there. I didn't find it, but I was kind of still just looking that way anyway. And so I'm pulling off a busy street, and I park on a sidewalk because I saw this big building that looked like a big warehouse. It was brown. Maybe I'll try to put some of this in the video. But anyway, I was going to take a picture of it because it was just interesting, and I was going to look it up and to see if it had any historical significance, because sometimes I'll just Google it and see what comes up. So I stop on the sidewalk on a busy road, and there was a mailbox there. So I stopped to take a picture of the mailbox, but I was, say, maybe 10 feet off the main road, and hence I used to be a photographer for the news, and I know that as long as you're on a public sidewalk, a public street, it's okay to take a picture. You're not breaking any laws, generally speaking. So I'm taking a picture, and actually the funny thing is, a cop actually came by as I was getting ready to leave and turn onto the busy 4-lane, and he didn't slow down or anything, because I wasn't really doing anything besides being on a sidewalk. I wasn't riding on the sidewalk per se. I was parked on the sidewalk, and then I drove off the sidewalk. So regardless, I mean, the semantics behind that, I'm not trying to get arrested, but I mean, if you're on a busy street, there's no other place you can stop. I mean, you can't stop on people's driveways is what it comes down to. I'm gonna drive by the dogs again to see if they start barking again. So I'm trying to get to the story at hand anyway. So I take a picture of the mailbox, I drive to the other side of the street, across the street, and there's like a dirt road. So I go by the dirt road, down the dirt road, and there's a SUV there, and she rolls down her window and says something. I wasn't really curious, but just generally looking at the person's face and the body language, they wanted something, and they weren't going to say, "Hi, how was your day?" Generally speaking, you can just sort of tell that right off the bat if somebody is there to wish you a nice day or whatever. So I drove past them because I didn't want to get any altercations. Just life has taught me that somebody rolls their window down to say something, unless you get the feeling that you haven't done anything wrong, it's better just to not have any confrontation. It was a guy and a lady. So I drove past them down a dead-end street, hoping that they would just keep going. But they didn't. They started backing up. So I kept going down the end of the street. I was watching in my rearview mirror. And I went down the end of the street, turned around. They backed up into a driveway. As I was coming back down the street toward the large street, they pulled back out in front of me. So I thought maybe they're just going to, forget it. They stopped just at the head of the street, like they're going to turn around. I'm on a motorcycle. They both get out of their cars. So right there you're thinking there's going to be an altercation, something. They're not getting out to say, "Hi, we're the welcome wagon." Probably not in this day and age. So a guy and a lady gets out, maybe in their 50s. I sit on my motorcycle calmly. I thought about driving around them because my gut was telling me that they wanted something else other than just to say hello. Usually, like I would say, they want to bitch at me. So they walk up to me. The guy says, "We saw you across the street, and that's our property. We want to know what you were doing on your property." And I said, "First of all, I wasn't on your property. I was on the sidewalk, which is a public sidewalk." And he says, "Well, we want to know what you're doing on the sidewalk," whatever. So I said I'm a photographer and I was taking a picture. The lady has a sarcastic response, something like, well, I'm a photographer too, and I don't see anything that interesting taking a picture of some house. It was a wooded area. Maybe I'll Google Earth it maybe and put a picture on there so you can see. I did take a picture. So, obviously they were agitated about something. And I figure they want to know what I'm doing there because maybe they've had a break-in or people that they don't like in the neighborhood. So that was my gut feeling right off the bat. I had been driving around for an hour through some different neighborhoods trying to check out, hope I'm not trespassing now, check out some different areas. Like I said, a geodesic house that was there, like a big fiberglass house, and I had been looking for some different areas, and that's how I find a lot of places. I kind of check them out, drive by, look for unusual places. So anyway, the guy and the lady is kind of on me, and they're like, well, I don't see why you need to be taking pictures of that. It's not your property, blah, 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 blah. Speaking of that, there's a guy with a dog down here, right down there. So I'm going to turn around and go the other way. And now I'm trespassing on railroad tracks. So, guy and the lady's being kind of smart aleck. Well, I don't see why you need to take pictures of that. Why do you need to take pictures? I said, I told you, I'm a photographer. And, I don't feel the need to go into, I do videos on YouTube on interesting places, historical places. That's why. Plus, I was a little agitated myself because when two people jump out of the car, correct me if I'm wrong, but the normal thing is to either fight or flight, defend yourself, especially when there's two people. It's two. And they get out of their car and approach me as if they have some right. And I'll give you an idea of where the location was. It was an area similar to this, where there's 4 lanes like this, and it's a busy public highway, and then there was a short driveway going off into a couple of houses, and that's where you find the most interesting stuff, I think. And you could say that's private property, but if you were going into a driveway, you don't know that that's private or where it is because you don't know where it ends and stuff. And if it was a rural area, I guess with dirt roads and you were way off the public street, that would make more sense that you should know better than to be poking around. But it was, like I said, right near a highway. So I sort of don't get it. Why? So I am asking them, why are you being so hostile to me? Have I committed a crime? And I may or may not put some of the video on this vlog. The video I shot was, unfortunately, the camera was pointed at me, not really at them, so you really can't see them. Maybe that's good, but I'm trying to get to the point is, I'm aggravated, and they keep saying, well, I just asked you a question. I said, well, if somebody's on a public sidewalk, do you have the right to ask them a question? That's what I'm trying to get to. And if you have an opinion on that, let me know. Put it in the comments. Essentially, I was standing on a sidewalk. So if you're standing on a sidewalk and there's a house right here, I'm not on a sidewalk now, but I'm saying, if I'm standing on a sidewalk and I take a house, I know that this is public property, and I'm allowed to take a picture of this house. Now, whether that's moral or anything like that, that's different. But it depends on what purposes. Are you taking a picture because you like the house? Or is it because you're planning on doing something with it? But, you can't call a cop and say somebody took a picture of my house and they're standing on a public sidewalk. I know that much. I know that much about the law. And these people, apparently, that don't know much about the law, first they mentioned that they're neighborhood watch. And I see that it's getting long. We're at 10 minutes and 30, so I'll try to wrap this up somewhat. So I am a little aggravated about the thing, but maybe you could weigh in with a comment and see what you think. Give me your thoughts. But if you're in an area You just take a picture of home, which I do that often. And it's not for the purposes of casing houses. And I, if a criminal was actually doing that, you can't call the cops and say, there's a guy in the public street taking a picture of my house. If you consider today's technology, you have, real estate people that will come by and take pictures of properties, appraising, people that appraise houses. You can go on Google Earth right now and go find your house and get a nice clean shot of it on Google Earth. To that end, no, we're going by the dogs again, sorry. So, it sort of wrapped up where I kept telling the lady, you have no right to question me. You're not a police officer. You have no right. I wasn't committing any crimes. I didn't pull up in your yard and start poking around on your private property. She says that it's her mother-in-law's property, which is fine. But the sidewalk is not the mother-in-law's property. That's the point that I was trying to get across. She didn't seem to understand being on public property, taking a picture of private land is not against the law. So she went around and took a picture of my license tag. For what reason, I don't know. I would say the majority of the time I was on my motorcycle while they were talking to me or yelling at me. And I got off actually, and I told them I was going to take a picture of the license tag. Since they felt it so necessary to take a picture of my license tag, I got off and said, well, while we're taking pictures of license tags, hey, let me take a picture of your license tag. So I got off, snapped the picture, went back to my motorcycle. The lady was still arguing with me, and she told me, this is the part I didn't really like. I saw a black kid walking down my street, and I questioned him. And right away I thought, not really the right thing to say. With the political culture and with the things like that, not a smart thing to say. I said, you're profiling the kid because he's black. But that's a whole nother story. Anywho, so I'm wrapping up by saying I had a very good point to what she was arguing. So I think her husband told her, let's go. Because I just kept telling her, you're not a police officer. I haven't committed any crimes. There's no reason for you guys to be questioning me. You don't really have a right to question me. And so I think maybe she did get the point at the end. It's very possible she did get the point. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I mean, this just happened a couple hours ago, so I might be a little fuzzy on the details. But have you ever had a situation like that where somebody just seems like they want to immediately assume that you've done something wrong? They want to assume you've committed a crime. They see something, oh, that guy's on that property, he must be doing something wrong. And you assume. And this is one thing I want to just throw out there is, maybe for all of us, including me, when you see somebody doing that may seem sketchy, maybe you should just stop a second and say, hey, there's a guy taking a picture of the house. Is he really harming? Is that really a negative thing? And you tell me, is that really a negative thing? I don't know that much about people who rob houses, but is that what they do, is they case it and they take a picture of the house in the broad daylight and then they come back later? I mean, like, it doesn't really make sense, motivation, an MO where a guy at 12 o'clock in the afternoon parks near your house, take a picture of your house. I'm going to come back and check that out. Hey, I could be wrong. I'm not completely omniscient or all-knowing. But anyway, those are my thoughts. I just thought I would share that because drama sells, and maybe it was a good story. And I'm kind of aggravated, so I thought maybe that would get it off my chest. So leave a comment and tell me what you think. I'm also spreading shirts. I'm selling t-shirts, so check that link out on my homepage. It's on there at spreadshirt.com. And check out the rest of my videos at John Swift Live. And leave a comment and let me know if you agree with the lady, you agree with me. Anyway, you guys have a great day. And I'm going to make the best of the rest of the day and try to focus positive thoughts, along with this dog too. I'm going to wish this dog positive thoughts on my friends, the dogs over here. Maybe I should come back and bring them a treat. Anyway, you guys have a great one. We'll see you on the next vlog. Have a great day. You're in the vlog now. You're in the vlog. Dog. It could be a dog vlog if you want it to be a dog vlog.